The famous Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, showered with sunshine, basks in a balmy 78-degree temperature, making the stage complete for this gridiron spectacular. The Pro Bowl adds strength to the saying, there's no football like pro football. The National Football League, under the astute direction of Commissioner Bert Bell, shattered its total attendance record for the 7th consecutive season. The Pro Bowl maintains this torrid tempo of increasing interest as a record throng of 72,250 gathers for the 9th renewal of football's newest postseason fixture. Weeb Eubank and Herman Ball will mastermind the West. Eubank was named Coach of the Year while directing the Baltimore Colts to the title. Western stars include Baltimore's Johnny Unitas, who soared from sandlots to stardom in 3 seasons. Lightning Lenny Moore, another Colt, is a fine pass receiver and a dangerous outside runner. From the Detroit Lions comes defensive ace Yale Larry, who will also handle the punting. Leo Nomalini, a 255-pound tackle, will spearhead a massive defense along with hefty Don Joyce. In Alan Amici and Rick Caceres, the West can call on 440 pounds of fearless fullbacking. The New York Giants' Jim Lee Howell will guide the Easterners, who will be out to break the West's 2-game victory string. Cleveland's Don Colo will fortify the East defense from one tackle position, while the other will be handled by another Clevelander, rough, tough Bob Gain. Where blocking is concerned, the Giants' Roosevelt Brown has few equals. The same goes for place kicking, where Lou the Togrosa is in a class by himself. Referee Emil Heitz meets with the captains at midfield. The West, represented by number 62, Bill George, number 56, Joe Schmidt, and number 19, Johnny Unitas, loses the coin toss to the East, Norm Van Brocklin and Gene Brito. The Easterners choose to receive, and football's dream game is about to begin. Coach Weeb Eubank gives final instructions to offensive aces, number 9, Billy Wade, number 19, Johnny Unitas, and number 29, Del Schaffner. Hometown heroes will be on display on NBC's coast-to-coast telecast, for the 64 All-Stars represent 39 states. Les Richter kicks off, and here we go. Tommy McDonald takes it on the 13 and carries it out to the 29. On the first scrimmage play of the game, Norm Van Brocklin sets to pass. Van misses his mark as Yale Larry intercepts. The West gets the game's first big break and takes over on the East 32. The Easterners rush their defensive unit into action to cope with this sudden turn of events. That's Johnny Unitas calling the signals. Amici takes a short pass, but he's tossed for a 6-yard loss by Chuck Druzanovich. It's 2nd and 16 as Lenny Moore swings to the outside. Moore fakes a cutback and turns the corner. Jack Butler moves in for the kill. But elusive Lenny slips the tackle. Sam Huff dives at Moore but misses. And only a necktie tackle by Night Train Lane stops Lenny from going all the way. Amici takes the handoff and the horse bucks across. In less than 2 minutes, the West has scored a touchdown. Jimmy David spots the ball. Les Richter kicks it. And it's West 7, East nothing. Lou Groza and Gene Brito appear stunned by the sudden scoring strike of the West. Les Richter, one of 6 Los Angeles players on the Western squad, puts the ball in play. Jim Brown takes the kickoff at the 3, and the bruising fullback battles out to the 28-yard line. Van Brocklin pitches out to Brown, who cuts back for 2 yards before he's gang tackled by the West. It's 3rd and 8 as the Flying Dutchman cuts loose with one of his famous long-distance aerials. Bob Schnelker is in the open, but he can't quite get to the ball. On 4th down, Jerry Norton stands in deep punt formation and gets the kick away. 49er favorite Hugh McElhaney finds little running room, and Rosie Brown pins him down on the West 40. Make it 3rd and 4 as Unitas looks for his favorite receiver, Raymond Berry. The down-and-out pattern is no good, and the West will have to kick. That's Yale Larry doing the booting and getting off a good one. At the 10, Jerry Norton grabs it. Norton, a defensive specialist from Philadelphia, flashes fancy footwork as he reels off a 30-yard run back before Rick Caceres stops him. Defensive tackle Ernie Stautner takes time out to cool off, and the Eastern offense goes to work. Frank Gifford, who played his college ball at the Coliseum for Southern California, hits a roadblock in the form of Big Daddy Lipscomb. It's Gifford again, but this time he's passing. Bob Schnelker nabs it. This play adds up to a 22-yard gain, plus an aching back for Schnelker. The slow-motion camera provides a pretty picture of Norm Van Brocklin's passing prowess. Jim Brown takes it at the 25 and sidesteps Joe Schmidt. He tries the same trick on Yale Larry, but it doesn't work, and Brown goes down on the West 18. Van Brocklin tries the same play again. Once more, the pass is complete, but Brown is nailed for no gain. During the regular season, the combination of Norm Van Brocklin to Pete Retzlaff proved one of pro football's finest. Retzlaff, who tied Ray Berry for the pass-catching crown, just misses this one, but no one can say he didn't try. Facing a 4th and 9 situation, the Easterners summon Lou Groza for a 25-yard field goal attempt. The kick is true as Lou comes through to narrow the gap to West 7, East 3. Number 16, Frank Gifford, who helped set up the score, catches his breath on the bench. Lou Groza, who at 34 is the old man among the All-Stars, shows no sign of losing his power in his kicking legs. Lou propels the pig pelt deep into the end zone, and John Arnett decides not to run it out. The Westerners put the ball in play at the 20, but it doesn't stay there long. Unitas is thrown for a long loss by Bob Gaines. Unable to move it out, Yale Larry is called upon to kick it out, and he does with a 55-yard punt to Tommy McDonald. Tommy's return is cut short by Dwayne Putnam and Stan Jones on the East 38. With Van the man at the controls, the Easterners fly high. Alex Webster takes this toss for a 16-yard gain. Jim Brown tries the inside, but this line is a tough nut to crack. Frank Gifford works the pass run option to perfection. With the defense coming in, Gifford spots Alex Webster open. Webster takes the pass in stride and beats Bobby Dillon to the end zone for a thrilling 40-yard touchdown. Webster, Gifford's teammate on the New York Giants, enjoys his biggest moment of the day. Groza's bid for the extra point is broken up by Will Sherman. And at the end of the first quarter, the Eastern Conference All-Stars lead the West 9-7. Ready's the Rams' Billy Wade for action. Playing in his first Pro Bowl game, Wade is a big favorite with the Los Angeles fans. Wade goes right to work with a rollout pass to Del Schaffner that gives the Westerners a first down on their own 37. Chicago Bear fullback, rugged Rick Caceres, crashes through the middle for 3 yards. Wade fades into the passer's pocket and rifles a shot to Billy Wilson on the East 47. Jack Butler stops Wilson, but it's 1st and 10 for the West. Hugh McElhaney on a cutback play gets 4 yards before he's tripped up by Leo Sugar. Rick Caceres slips through a narrow opening to pick up a first down on the East 33. With Wade in the driver's seat, the West is wheeling. Wilson shags this pass for a 13-yard pickup. Eastern quarterbacks Van Brocklin and LeBaron ponder a defense to stop the West. But Wade has the West rolling in high gear, and here they go again. McElhaney pulls in a pass. And hasty Hugh hustles through the secondary on a rousing rump to the end zone. The East couldn't stop McElhaney, but the Miller High Life camera can. Bring the ball back, Hugh, and run that play again. Obliging fellow, isn't he? Last year, McElhaney was voted the Pro Bowl's outstanding player. As shifty as a card shark and as slippery as an eel, San Francisco's McElhaney is one of football's finest broken field runners. He's at his best here as he puts the West in front again. Les Richter adds the extra point, and the scoreboard reads West 14, East 9. Safety man Jerry Norton reviews defensive strategy with head coach Jim Lee Howell. Richter rockets the kickoff deep into Eastern territory. Scat back Tommy McDonald, a former Oklahoma All-American, returns to the 26 where Jim Parker stops him cold. That's Eddie LeBaron quarterbacking the East and passing complete to Pete Retzlaff. It's good for a first down. LeBaron pitches out to Jim Brown, who turns the left flank for 8 yards. The West is penalized for piling on, and Weeb Eubank appears concerned, for the East has a first down on the West 39. For a little man, LeBaron does a real big job. Eddie hits Frank Gifford with a perfect pass that nets 23 yards. Frank Gifford, a jack of all trades, is having a field day. Retzlaff grabs Giff's toss, and it's goal to go for the East. Western defenders Jim David and Doug Atkins gang up on Gifford, and Frank is thrown behind the line for a 4-yard loss. It's 2nd and goal from the 7. LeBaron looks for a receiver and finds one. Gern Nagler makes a juggling catch in the end zone, and it's touchdown East. Here's that same play as seen by Miller High Life slow motion camera. LeBaron lobs the ball just over the outstretched arms of Jim David. Nagler bobbles it momentarily, but has possession as he steps out of the end zone. LeBaron is congratulated by Coach Vince Lombardi as he comes out of the game. Watch Doug Atkins make a bold bid to block Grose's conversion. It's a noble effort, but to no avail. And at the end of the exciting first half, the East has recaptured the lead with a slim 16-14 edge. Sponsored by the Los Angeles Newspaper Publishers Association for the Publishers Charity Foundation, the Pro Bowl provided thrills aplenty in a first half that was highlighted by the running, passing, and receiving of local boy Frank Gifford. The Easterners, pregame underdogs, take aim on an upset as Lou Grose's kickoff starts the second half. At the 13, Hugh McElhaney takes the ball on the run and follows his blockers out to the 35-yard line. Johnny Unitas is the West quarterback, and he's going right to the air. Raymond Berry bags the ball and worms his way to the 47. Jaguar John Arnett almost breaks into the open, but Night Train Lane holds him until reinforcements stop him. Watch defensive left end number 82 Tom Scott as he trips Arnett for no gain. It's 3rd and 8 as Unitas fades to pass. Ernie Stautner is in on him, and down he goes with help from Don Colo for a 6-yard loss. 4th and 14, and the West is kicking. Yale Larry sends it soaring to the East 20. The ball bounds between McDonald and Norton and bounces into the end zone for a touchback. Miller highlights sideline camera puts us right in the thick of the action as Jim Brown fights for 4 hard yards before Bobby Dillon and Doug Atkins apply the stopper. A master passer, Norm Van Brockman, picks up a first down with a down-and-out shot to Retzlaff. The East's offensive machine is firing on all cylinders. Jim Brown rumbles through the middle for 8 more yards. Frank Gifford, who's been all over the field for the East, gets back in the groove by grabbing a Van Brockman pass on the West 36. Alex Webster carries on across Buck. Bill George and Big Daddy stop Webster short of a first down. Unitas and Berry are itching to get back into action, but it's squarely up to the defense. Fourth down, a yard to go. Jim Brown hits the middle and meets a mountain of muscle. There's no gain on the play. The West has held. Number 76, Big Daddy Lipscomb, and Doug Atkins, number 81, their mission accomplished, return to the bench and receive a hero's welcome. The Western offense is bogged down too, and Unitas, while trying to pass, is dumped by Don Colo behind the line of scrimmage. Make it 4th and 12 for the West with Larry in punt formation. A bad pass from center sails over his head. Larry recovers, but he can't kick as Gene Breedholt spills him way back on the 6-yard line. Jim Patton and Sam Huff hope to see the Eastern offense cash in this big scoring chance. The magic of slow motion tells the story. Norm Van Brocklin sets the throw. Bob Schnelker is behind his man, but Yale Larry, with a last-second leap, picks off the pass to slam the door on the scoring threat. On the West bench, Johnny Unitas applies an ice pack to a bruised knee, and Billy Wade takes over. Wade makes an immediate hit. The revitalized Westerners begin a rally as Schaffner shags a pass at the 40. The partisan West Coast crowd whoops it up as Wade whips a swing pass to Ellen Amici for an 8-yard advance. There goes John Arnett to the outside. Across midfield and down to the East 44. Billy Wade is making his first Pro Bowl a memorable one. After finding his receivers covered, Wade sets out on foot. Billy eludes a diving Walt Michaels and picks up 17 yards before he's banged out of bounds by Don Paul. Green Bay's Bobby Dillon and Coach Wee Eubank catch the fever of the offensive surge and shout encouragement. It takes the slow-motion camera to still the fury of the Western attack. Wade, who's going great guns, is right on target with a bullseye shot to Lenny Moore. This play gives the West a first down on the East's 13. There's simply no stopping Billy Wade. Billy decides to run, and run he does, all the way for a touchdown to the utter delight of the hometown fans. In 12 plays, Wade moved the West 80 yards, and for the 4th time, the lead changes hands. If Wade's touchdown was too fast to follow, here it is again. A fast thinker, Wade fakes a pass to fool the defense. With a clear field in front, Billy goes over with ease. At the end of the 3rd period, the West leads the East 21-16. The 4th and final quarter begins with Les Richter kicking off. Jim Brown, the back who broke Steve Van Buren's ground-gaining record, returns the kickoff to the East 32. Eddie LeBaron under center now, and he's going to pass. The ball bounces away from Bob Schnelker. Follow number 56, Joe Schmidt. Somehow or other, he manages to get the ball. Schmidt charges to the East 26, where he's upended by LeBaron. The officials state that the ball hit the ground and rule an incomplete pass, much to the dismay of the hometown crowd. It's still the East in possession. Tommy McDonald on a reverse gets 9 yards before Big Daddy Lipscomb wraps him up. Tom the Bomb Tracy is knocked off his feet by Joe Fortunato for a 2-yard loss. 4th and 3 for the East. Norton in punt formation gets a high pass, and he's going to run for it. Jerry gets the first down and then some before being jarred out of bounds in a mad scramble of legs and arms. Given a new lease on life, LeBaron tosses down and out to Bob Schnelker. Schnelker is shoved out of bounds by Jim David on the West 42. It's a 9-yard gain despite a difference of opinion by Yale Larry and Bobby Dillon. LeBaron goes back for another pass, but Doug Atkins rushes him right off his feet for an 8-yard loss. This meets with the wholehearted approval of Alan Amici, Rick Caceres, and Jim Parker. Now it's 4th and 9 for the East, and Jerry Norton sends a kick spiraling toward the end zone. The ball bounces on the 2-yard line. Jim Ray Smith downs it, and the West has its back to the wall. Rick Caceres begins to dig the West out from under with an 11-yard burst through the middle. Still deep in his own territory, Billy Wade chances a pass. The gamble backfires, and Billy's toss is a total loss as Walt Michaels intercepts for what could be the turning point of the ball game. A dejected Billy Wade watches from the sideline as the East bids to take the lead. Norm Van Brocklin, back in the lineup, sends Jim Brown to the outside, and the hard-hitting fullback rips to the 9-yard line. Jim Brown, the East bread and butter runner, gets smeared here. Bill George hits him first, followed by Doug Atkins and Joe Schmidt. Brown loses 8 yards on the play and the ball. However, the fumble occurred after the whistle, and the East retains possession. It's 4th and 14, and Lou Groza is the center of attraction. The East trails by 5 points, but Groza's talented toe narrows the count. Lou's perfect 25-yard placement makes the score West 21, East 19. Weeb Eubank gives Billy Wade his instructions, for with 10 minutes remaining, this is still anybody's ball game. Winning players receive $800, while the losers get $600. And as Lou Groza kicks off, the Easterners know they'll have to get the ball to score. Tom Scott wastes little time getting downfield to stop Willie Gallimore at the 23. Ball possession is all important now. Rick Caceres squeezes through the left side of the line for 4 yards. The Bears gallop, and Willie Gallimore goes to the outside, but Night Train Lane comes up fast to stop him. 3rd and 4 for the West. Wade goes back to pass. Gallimore grabs it, wiggles away from one man, but Don Paul pins him behind the line, and the West will have to punt. Yale Larry gets the ball away, and this kick covers some 65 yards in the air. Tommy McDonald fields it on the 27, and he's plowed under at the 30. As expected, Van Brocklin begins to fill the air with footballs. The Cardinals' Gern Nagler is open on the sideline, but he can't hold on to the ball. The Dutchman is not discouraged. Van comes right back with a pinpoint pitch to Frank Gifford, whose sparkling catch moves the ball to the West 46. Jim Brown is the National Football League's most feared ball carrier, and here's why, as the fleet-footed fullback fights forward for another first down. Van Brocklin, a time-tested pro who wants to win, is haunting his former teammates. Gern Nagler makes a diving catch at the West 22, and the East is really rolling. Frank Gifford, the East's most gifted performer, carves a 5-yard slash in the West's forward wall. On 3rd and 3, Van Brocklin surprises with a pass. Ritzlaff has it. He shakes off Sherman, and over he goes as the lead changes hands for the 5th time in this topsy-turvy tilt. With just 2 minutes remaining to be played, the East has rallied to take the lead. Lou Groza's extra point adds to the advantage, and the Eastern Conference All-Stars hold sway 26-21. As Lou Groza kicks off, the pressure is all on the West. The ball goes to Gallimore right at the goal line. And Will-o'-the-Wisp Willie brings it out to the 19. Billy Wade bids to beat the clock. McElhaney pulls in a short pass, breaks out of one jam, but is pulled down by Sam Huff. Time is the prime factor now, and Eubank signals to stop the clock. The West is looking for the long play. Billy Wade is waylaid by Don Colo for a costly 18-yard loss. There's a miscue in the backfield as McElhenney bobbles the ball, and this play loses all the way back to the 2-yard line. Frank Gifford, voted the game's outstanding player, enjoys the final seconds with Jim Brown. Attempted razzle-dazzle goes for naught when Tom Scott torpedoes Hugh McElhenney in the end zone for a safety that scuttles the victory hopes of the West. In a game replete with drama and excitement, the Eastern Conference All-Stars defeat the Western Conference All-Stars 28-21. Charity, too, is a big winner as it reaps the rewards of the most successful game in the 9-year series of what has become a football institution, the All-Star Pro Bowl Classic. And now, a friendly invitation from the Miller Brewing Company of Milwaukee. An invitation to visit the home of Miller High Life. You'll enjoy touring the world's finest brewery and partaking of Miller High Life hospitality in the world-famous Miller Inn.